Up, everybody? Thanks for joining me. So what I want to talk about in this video is my 2018 earnings driving Lyft. Um, there's a lot of stuff to consider on whether you want to drive Lyft or not. I know for me, it fit what I was looking for at the time, and what I want to do is break down my earnings in a way that was accessible and made sense so that you could figure out if it was right for you. And that could be temporary or even more than temporary. I know for me, it worked. I drove in Los Angeles, so I drove all around LA County and even, north of it and south of it sometimes. So here is some information and that I got from doing my taxes and doing a lot of Excel work. So first things first, if you are going to do Lyft, do not leave money on the table for me or for you. I beg you, use my promo code. I've already had several people use it, and they're like, hey, thanks for sharing that. Otherwise, I would have not made that money. And the bonus Lyft offers varies by a few different things, but if you use my promo code, I would appreciate it a lot. And I hope this information helps. I know I have another video and where people are super grateful about the information I give them, and it helps them decide. I'm not here to tell you that Lyft is good or it is bad. I'm just here to tell you what it is from my experience. So use my promo code. You'll make some guap. I'll make some guap. Everyone's happy, okay? So I did a program called Lyft Express, and it's relatively new, and so they changed things quite a bit. But essentially what it is you can rent a car through Lyft, meaning, yes, you do not need a car to drive for Lyft. You can rent a car through Lyft, and they will actually cover the car and the insurance. You do have to put down a $250 security deposit, and there is a $1,000 deductible, but both of those things have changed. But as of this date, that's what they are. And we're April 2019, right? So what you can do actually is if you make a certain number of rides, they will actually deduct the cost of the car, right? So it starts at $247 a week. And as you can see here, if you make 135 rides in a week, you get a $200 bonus. So it's $247, after taxes, after fees, and all that. So if you get a $200 bonus, that covers 80% of the cost of the car, and that means the car and the insurance will cost you only $48 for the week after taxes. So considering you may not have a car and you're like, hey, I need to make some money quick to pay some bills, to pay off some credit debt, whatever it is, if you're able to make that number of rides per week, then this could be a good program for you. Let me keep in mind, the number of rides you have to make varies by city. In Los Angeles, there's a lot of short rides, so the ride number is higher. If you're in a different city where this program exists, it totally varies. So keep that in mind. But I will tell you, they make the top bonus a lot to get. So you're going to have to make a lot of rides, and short rides are really good often in that case. So let me break down my earnings. And sorry, I'm trying to move my face to where like it's not distracting, but you can still see the information. So here is my tax form from Lyft. And over those 3 or 4 months, I made nearly 1,200 rides and 9,600 miles. I made 15,000 in ride payment earnings, which I'll get to more. 3,500 in non-ride earnings from my own bonus that I got from other people signing up, which again is awesome. And then as you can see here, there's quite a bit of money taken from the other side: Lyft platforms fees, service fees, third-party fees, express drive rental fees. So really that 15,000 is not what I made, and I'll show you what I did actually make, right? All right, let me move this again. So my ride payments were 15,000 for the year, but once I did all the math and looked at my statements and saw what I took home, it was only 93.32. Okay. Now it's even less than that when you consider what I spent in gas. I had 37 trips to the pump that cost $1,433, meaning my profit was $7,899. Now you're probably saying, okay, well, in what time frame, in how many hours? Well, let's look at that, okay? I added all this up. Lyft doesn't even show you a lot of this data organized, so I had to go through an Excel spreadsheet and actually crunch some numbers. so that I could actually give you some information that's going to be valuable as to what is your bottom line, because obviously Lyft wants it to appear like you're making more money than you are, and you're like, what do I have in my pockets after taxes, after fees, after gas, after all that, so I can pay my bills. And I'm an economics minor, not a major, so you can trust me a good amount, I hope. So I made nearly 1,200 rides, and $7,900 divided by 1,200 rides. It's about $661 per ride. That obviously helps with tips and longer rides. What you'll see is you may get a bunch of short rides, and then you'll get one really long ride that's, $50, $60, $70. So that is the average, though. $660 ride. Per mile, it's 82 cents after you pay for gas and the $48 a month and all that sort of stuff. And keep in mind, this is if you hit rental rewards every single time. If not, you're going to be making much less money than this. So it's really important that if you do rent from Express, you make the number of rides that you're supposed to make, or you use it to work for you if you have another job and you just need Express temporarily. And per hour, so I did 497 hours, and 7,900 divided by 497 hours equals about $15.89 per hour, and that's including tips. And I didn't break down how much tips are, but they're around $100 each pay period. So those tips make a really, really, really big freaking difference between making minimum wage and making just above minimum wage. So I recommend people, if you have a good driver or someone who gets you from place A to B, you tip them. I make sure that I tip $1 every time. And it's not proportional. It's not 10, 15, 20% of what the ride is. But I just make sure I tip them a little bit, because I know if each person tips their driver $1, then it's really going to help the driver a lot. And as you can see here, that's not a ton of money, especially considering the conditions, and I don't want to complain about that, but you're driving for long hours of time and you're helping people get from A to B, and I think that's a pretty important service myself. So anyway, that's what I made per hour, and this is over a long time frame. This is not like over a week or a couple days. This is over months. So keep that in mind. And well, that's it actually. So anyway, I hope this video was helpful, and that you use the promo code if you do sign up to do Lyft. In my last video, I have so many people commenting and giving their input, and that stuff is, I don't know, it's just kind of fun thinking that these videos actually make a difference in helping people make decisions with their life. I hope this is helpful. Let me know what you got in the comments. Peace.